At the end of 2021, we were delighted to announce that we had received a grant award from the Levelling Up Fund for the North of England. The award was for the creation of new production kitchens and a new cafe in part of the stables complex at Wentworth Woodhouse. And it's the first stage of a much wider programme of regeneration that we have planned for this enormous site. With large-scale demolition and regeneration works going on nearby throughout 2022, we've had to wait to begin the new project. But in May 2023, the first phase of work started. This involves the demolition of mid-20th century structures built in what was originally a large open courtyard between the riding school and the old carriage houses. They were created for the Lady Mabel College of Physical Education, and at the same time, the riding school was converted into 2 gymnasia, and much of the stables complex was repurposed for use as classrooms. Before we show you the work in progress, we thought we'd take you inside some of the spaces that are due to be demolished. We're very fortunate to have someone in our team who remembers these rooms very fondly. Jo Owen was a student at the Lady Mabel College of Physical Education here at Wentworth Woodhouse in the 1960s.
Hi, my name is Jo, and I'm fortunate enough to be one of the old students of Lady Mabel College of Physical Education. So here I am in the stable yard. This was an area which was a very busy part of the house as far as we were concerned. There were classrooms, music rooms, drama studio, art rooms, but more especially through this door here was the way into our gyms. And a lot of our time was spent in the gymnasia. So this is a bit of a trip down memory lane for me, because I'm going to go into the gymnasium, which I haven't been in now for over 50 years.
The south range of buildings at the stables complex were originally the carriage houses. In the early 20th century, they were converted into garages. And in the late 1940s, these spaces were again altered to become large classrooms.
This is a survivor from college days, because this is where some of the students' artwork was put, because we are in the art room. As well as doing physical education, we had to choose another subject called our second subject, and we had a choice. Art was one of the options. So the students that chose art would work in here, and their work displayed on the wall. Unfortunately, art wasn't my thing, I'm afraid, so I didn't often come into this room.
All of the new 20th century rooms were accessed via a long corridor which runs the full length of the south range of buildings. It was lit by circular skylights, which can be clearly seen here.
So here I am, in this changing room for one of the gymnasia. There were 2 gymnasia, Gym 1 and Gym 2, each with its own changing room, and this was one of them. There were showers, there were toilets, the actual changing room, and there was also a strange facility where there was a pedal which came down from the wall and you could wash your feet in it before you went into the gym.
Changing Room 1 has retained its original dimensions, and the extensive decay in both areas is incredibly atmospheric. The main corridor also gives access to a staircase which leads to a first-floor room.
This area was actually the tea room. So every day we had morning coffee and afternoon tea here. Morning coffee with homemade biscuits and afternoon tea with cream cakes. No wonder we all put on weight.
The roof area gives a good indication of the size of the old courtyard, and it's at this level that we can just see the top of the original doorway from the courtyard into the riding school. The circular glass skylights have been removed for reuse and will be put into storage during the demolition period. In addition to the complex of rooms covered by this roof, the original courtyard was altered to create a sports hall. The roof of this structure was removed a few years ago, but you can still see clearly how it was altered and what it was used for. The 20th century alterations were thoughtfully and expensively carried out. Stonework was matched into the original, and where new downpipes were required, these were recreated in lead and featured decorative Yorkshire roses rather than the more usual heraldic designs found elsewhere at Wentworth Woodhouse.
We're now back on the ground floor in the stables, and it's hard to believe that this is actually where the horses were and that there were stables in this area. In college days, the room didn't actually look like this because it was divided into two, and the part where I'm standing now was the anatomy lab. As I said earlier, we had to study a second subject when we were here, apart from physical education, and my second subject was music. So this area was close to my heart because this is where I had my music lectures. There's a little room round the corner, and that's where I had singing lessons when I was here. As part of the regeneration of Wentworth Woodhouse, the changing rooms, the showers, the toilets will all be demolished. This area will become a tea room, and it will be on the route from the new car park, which is presently being developed, through to the house.
We'll be covering the progress of this entire project in regular update videos over the course of the next 12 months, and these will be available on our YouTube channel. Make sure you don't miss an episode by subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to like our content and leave us a message in the comments section below.